pitch up the hammocks. There's quite a strong wind coming from my right hand side, so obviously I'm going to have my shelter on that side. So I'm going to pitch it now between a cherry and a silver birch. So here goes. When I packed my bag, I was actually quite clever. I packed it so that I just hooked my one end of the hammock up to the tree strap now, and then in theory I should just be able to pull the rest of it out over to the other without it flapping around too much. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I've got the main hammock in place. I'm going to move the camp to the other side now and set up the shelter for it. So there we have it. It needed to have weight in it, and I think it'll work better. I've put my rucksack in there for the moment, but I think it'll work better once I'm in it. So as you can see, I've staked out that T section. It could probably do with being staked out a bit tighter actually, but because of where this tree's situated, that's not going to happen. But it's amazing how much more sheltered you feel when you're out that wind. So once I've got the thermarest in there and the silver liner, then the sleeping bag, I'm going to be quite cozy in there, I think. Plenty of room in there for. There's probably too much material in this chute, really. I mean, just compare that now with Steve's setup. Much more professional looking. So there is a lot of excess material there, but we shall see how we get on. So I'm inside now. As I said, I've got my rucksack here giving it weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get me thermarest out and let that fill up while we're over back at the fire. Well, it's 1:25. We reckon it's probably a couple of degrees below zero, and we're just going to bed. So this is where I'll be sleeping tonight. So I've got my thermarest, my foil bed, and then my sleeping bag. So in the hammock I've got another little bag for Molly. I imagine she's going to get curled up on top of me. And then my shelter comes right over the top. We'll get a much better look at this in the morning. But yeah, night night. Well, the night in the hammock was a success. I survived. It didn't falter. Yeah, that chute works really well as a hammock. Will I be using it as a hammock again? No, is the answer. And I'll go into some detail there. The actual chute I used, there's so much material in there that purely from a weight point of view, there's too much to take in. And what I found was also that because there's so much room in the hammock, I was slipping off my thermarest and so getting cold in places. So that was no good. So a smaller hammock with less movement would have prevented that. The use of, you'll have seen me talk about using the leg or one of the legs as a shelter did work, and it kept the wind, direct wind off me, and it kept the snow off me. I probably should have had my ridgeline a bit lower down so that it was closer to me, but we live and learn. But the problem with having it connected to the hammock is that lower down, so sort of body level, any wind that was hitting that shelter, which was giving some protection, but it was battering me in the side. So the beauty of having a hammock and a separate basher, if you like, as an A-frame, would mean that you wouldn't get that contact. So although it was protecting me, it was giving me more shelter, it would have been better if that had been away from my body, much like a fly sheet. On your side of your tent, you don't want to lie up next to it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, much like the inner and the fly sheet of a tent, you don't want to be sleeping right up against it, because when the wind pushes in and the rain, then that seeps through. So that was an issue that I had with the tarp, the shelter tarp being integral to the hammock. The other problem was that the width of that shelter was just about the same length as my body, so about 6 foot, a little bit shy of 6 foot. But what that meant was, because I was trying to keep my head out of the wind, and it was quite windy, my feet then moved past. If you imagine that's the end of the shelter, my feet moved past, and were in direct line of fire from the wind. And now I've not seen examples of this real life before, but I'm pretty sure that I was suffering from early stages of frostnip on my toes. It was very, very painful, tingly sensation, which is what you read about, but the redness was there, and it was there right through till Saturday night. So that wasn't a massive plus. Now it does sound like I'm poo-pooing this as a hammock, and if you go out hammocking regularly, and it is into the wilderness, and it is in conditions like I experienced on Friday night, which was below 0, probably -2, maybe 3, with the wind, windy and snowing, then this hammock is not any good for you at all. However, if you want to knock a hammock up in the back garden in the summer for the kids, or for you just to swing in the summer's breeze with a bit of shelter from the sun with a book, then this would do the job. But if you're a serious hammocker, and by that I mean you're going to go out into the wilderness and hammock, then this isn't the one for you. Great for the kids, but not great for -2. I hope you enjoyed the video.